the sideline watching, so I make them clap it up. Clap it up. Now clap it up.
Today, from Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Today, we've got a good NFC match. And the Seattle Seahawks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end, Parham. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They go play action now. Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week. 18 carries, 69 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Play action. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. The point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. But he found a way for his team to win.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's Murray. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw, Wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
On third down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They are coming off the game last week, which was a very interesting game. And, Charles, ultimately it ended in a tie.
And that's difficult on teams because, let's face it, Brandon, they just don't know how to react. I mean, who does? Did you win? No. Did you lose? No. Because when you win, you jump up and down. Life's good. When you lose, you set your face in that stone look so that you show that you weren't hurt. I think it's one of those things that at the end of the year you find out just how you're supposed to feel about that tie. Did it help you or hurt you in the standings? Then you'll know what you really should have felt that game.
Murray now on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, Murray. And this one incomplete.
Great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now Wilson. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. It's a big play there for Seattle. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they want... No part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
2nd and 10. Murray going to throw. And they'll go back to Hopkins, and this time he's got him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On play action, it's Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play there for Arizona.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now Murray. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now a give here to Pollard, and he is met lawn chair. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46. Now Murray off play action. That's out to the flat for Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Not much there, only a yard. Now remember, these 2 teams met in Glendale earlier in the season with the Cards coming out on top. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah,
just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Cards going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man, Parham. He's got him. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7. To throw again is Wilson. Flushed out right. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we are at halftime here in downtown. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now Gordon on first down. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. To throw is Murray. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Neville Gallimore gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like
long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long. To throw, it's Murray. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective, because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Pollard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, Pollard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Run for Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They set up the screen to Penny. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The football going back over to Arizona now. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Murray now to throw. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Oh, now Hopkins slow to get up here. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play fake. Murray. Throwing left side, it's complete. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Snap comes to Murray at 1. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Murray. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Murray now. Being chased out left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Melvin Gordon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25. The Seahawks take back over. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. On 2nd and 10. Wilson, he gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd down, Patterson, and he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Completion there. That should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Open man is Davidson, the tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Patterson on the carry. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Wilson's throw here pulled in by Lazard. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Colby Parkinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the Arizona offense about set to take over. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people in that big games as well.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Murray. Incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he slings one that's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both, because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They're going to run. This is Gordon. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw is Murray. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Murray to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Murray. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it? No. This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They run again with Walker. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Here's Murray. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make a change on defense, say, okay, we'll come after you instead. And that's exactly what they did.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And the kick is good. The young rookie coming through like a 10-year vet. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Cards, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers.